Hello everybody, this is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. We are here today, guys, to talk to you about two different greenhouses. This one here, the King Dome, and the one she calls the Queen Dome back here. Yep. We're going to show you some of the differences in them. Now, this one, the King Dome, is a little more established. It's been here a little longer. It's been here a year longer, as a matter of fact, almost.
Yeah, about 9 months.
About 9 months.
And mine, the Queen Dome, we just got the plastic on...
maybe 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, and we've had a hurricane since, and I did plant a little early. I was planting some things that should have waited another 2 or 3 weeks.
She planted cool weather crops in anticipation that October would be cool. Well, it didn't work out that way, guys. October ended up being hot. The insects ended up getting started early.
And 3 hurricanes.
And 3 hurricanes.
Even though they didn't hit us, one did.
One.
But the humidity and the after effects of a hurricane and the bugs. So we're going to show you both.
Yeah, just give you a little bit of a look at both of them and what's going on in each greenhouse. Okay guys, so let's go on in the first greenhouse and let's look at it here, see what's going on. Now this particular greenhouse has the 40% black shade cloth. Miss Wanda's greenhouse has a 40% white shade cloth. We're actually experimenting with both different shade cloths to see which one we think actually does the best job as far as plant growth, heat retention, all these type of different things. So let's begin on this side over here. We have our potatoes that Miss Wanda has planted here. Now these are all down this side right here. This is 4th generation Deep South Homestead's own saved potatoes. We're going to see this year how they do. We're trying them in the greenhouse. We've been putting them in the fields during the cool weather in the wintertime and having to chop them off and all that kind of stuff. And we never really get big potatoes by doing that. We just end up with regular sized potatoes. But this year, we're going to experiment with putting them in the greenhouse. So maybe we can keep the frost and the freeze from destroying them. But guys, I mean, look at this. I want you to look at these pepper plants here. Look at this here. Look at these bell peppers. This is, let me show you. I want to show you so you know I'm not joking with you. Can we focus in on that right there? This is the time of the morning it is. This is Saturday. The what does that say? The
11/7.
11/7. Okay, November the 7th at 7:35 in the morning. God, it's November. Look at this.
Isn't that awesome?
Look at this. And we were going to pull these up a couple of weeks ago, but I just haven't brought myself to do it yet because these things are literally loaded with even a little baby pepper. Look at the new ones coming on here where they've bloomed. Look up there
at the blooms.
Look at the blooms. And look at the, up under here. Look, when you pull up the plants and look in here, guys, look. There, up here, they're just, it doesn't matter. And these are the red roasters. Look at this. Up here, look up there. It doesn't matter where I look on here. Guys,
this greenhouse has grown some peppers. Look back yonder. Look. I don't know if I can get it, but look at that.
Can you get this baby back here? Look at that thing. Look at that hanging.
I think we're going to leave these to turn red.
And look here.
I mean, amazing. The peppers have done awesome in this greenhouse.
I mean, we realize that the fall is the better time to grow peppers in our climate down here. Now, I can step right back behind me here. These are container grown peppers. Now, this is the same exact pepper that we have here behind me.
This one is, yeah, and look, it's blooming.
These are grown in containers. Now, we've pruned these back some.
We had to prune heavy for stuff.
And look at them. Starting to rebloom. Look at the peppers in here. And guys, I mean, it doesn't matter where you look. There's peppers hanging. And we're peppered out, okay? But we still love fresh peppers because you can't beat a fresh pepper, you know? And then we move on down here. The blackberries in here, we experimented with the blackberries in the containers. And look, they're already up yonder. I got to come back and cut these off. I've cut some of the others back here so that they'll start branching out. And this was one of our youngest peach trees that we planted. If you remember this past summer, we got these in. There was no bigger than this right here. Just a little tiny switch. Look at them now. Container grown, greenhouse, dwarf, Red Haven, peach from Growers Solutions. Got another one growing right beside it here. It's doing just as well. And our blackberry plant has...
It's all the way over.
Over into here, yep. And then we have back to the banana peppers. Now I was going to pull these up the other day and I didn't do it. And the banana peppers, guys, look at the pepper. I wish you would just look.
I think we're gonna have to give somebody some peppers today.
Yeah, we might. I mean, I come in here every day and pull one and just eat it. Just keep my vitamin C up in my system. Now, this is one of our older peach trees. We planted this in February and March of this year. And it was just like maybe this big right here. It was just a little tiny stick like that. It actually bore peaches the first year. And look at it. It's a nice tree. But now I promised y'all something that I'm going to do in this video. Many people ask, Danny, this peach tree's in a greenhouse. How will it ever get the chill hours? Well, this greenhouse is going to be a cool weather greenhouse. We're not going to close it up during the winter time. We're going to leave it where it stays cool. And I told y'all I was going to show you how to force a tree, like a peach tree, to get its chill hours. As you notice, as long as its leaves is on it, it's not dormant. But what I'm going to do is come in here, and we're going to do this right here. We're going to start at the top. We're going to take these leaves off, like this. Guys, this here, what this does is it forces the tree to go into dormancy. When you go through here, take all these leaves off. And when you start doing this, look at this. This is what you end up with, right here. Now we're going to be topping this one back. I'm leaving some of these off because I'm going to be topping the points off on them. But when I do this right here, look. I know I'm creating a mess in my own greenhouse, but I'm doing this to make a point to you guys. I'll come back and clean it up later. This right here is how you force a tree into dormancy. Now I'll come back and, like I said, clip the tips out of these trees and rake up and clean up my mess here. By the way, if you have goats, don't let them get into these peach leaves because peach leaves are toxic. So at this stage, they're toxic to goats. But anyway, see this tree now? I'm gonna come back, you know, and I'll get rid of these tips out of these trees because I'm trying to reshape it. I want it to bush out more. But guys, this tree here has just been forced into dormancy.
And we're going to put a new pot, bigger pot.
We're going to put it into a lot larger pot here in the next couple of months. But see here, now I have a tree that by the time I snip the ends out of all this tree just became dormant because it has nothing here anymore to be pulling any nutrition from the soil. So a lot of you all have asked me that. Now you see a tree in the background? We're going to do it exactly the same way. We'll come over, we're going to go through here and we're going to take all the leaves off. Just like this. And that'll force the tree into dormancy. Okay, look at the satsumas here, guys. Look at this.
They're turning.
This is an Owari satsuma, big as a softball. And I'm having to be very easy with them because of the limbs breaking, but look at this. Now I didn't pollinate it heavy this year because it was a first year tree. I didn't want it to overdo. Now this limb's trying to break, so we're going to be real easy with it. Got nothing down here, look at that. Woo. See the potatoes here, guys? These potatoes are coming along good. Now they're doing really good. Now we are noticing that because of the lack of sunlight, they are a little bit taller and skinnier than they normally would be. But we're leaving the shade cloth on. We're going to just keep trying it and see how it works out.
But look at how pretty.
The beauty of it. Look, no insects. I mean, it is amazing the color.
They're green.
They're dark green, luscious. I mean, they just look really good. Now, this is Deep South Homestead 4th generation potatoes here, guys. Down here, we still have our asparagus.
There's a bug.
We've got a little worm coming in here. Let me get rid of him. But the asparagus.
This one just come up and I missed it.
You missed that one.
I get the asparagus and I missed one right there. I haven't been in here in a couple of 3 days. And when you miss them, this is what happens.
They turn into a fern plant. Okay, and our blueberry is trying to go, part of it, I trimmed the tops off of it, but it's got some new growth coming out here. It's starting to re-sprout again. It did have more blueberries on it here, but we missed them. Get them off of there. And then guys, we have our dwarf banana tree here. Look at this thing. It's coming on good. Fixing to make another top going out on it. Hopefully this winter we can keep it going and salvage this baby so we can get bananas off of it next year, hopefully.
Are we leaving it in here? Because it's going to be a cool one.
This is going to be a cool weather greenhouse, but I'm going to leave my satsumas and all in here too, so.
If it gets too cold.
If it gets too cold, I'll probably let the sides down on it, on one side, not all of it. The big issue with things like this is keeping the frost off of them from destroying them.
We shouldn't have no problem with that.
And then we come over here, we have our strawberries from Grower Solutions.
Look how green.
Look at them things, ain't they pretty?
We're going to move some around.
We are, we're going to move them, and well, it'll be this month is the month to move them. And then guys, here we have the yellow Marconi pepper plants. These things were up to the ceiling up yonder.
Still are.
Well, some of them still are, but it broke and fell over. We didn't get it tied in time. And now it's just hanging here. Look, when I pick it up, look at this. This is a yellow Marconi.
We letting these go to turn yellow.
We have more yellow Marconi plants here. These are all still growing up.
These are
fantastic. Look at this.
Is that yellow too?
Yeah, these are all yellow Marconis. All this. It's only 3 plants.
Yeah, that's right. They were all the same.
And but see, here's some of them are starting to turn right here.
Yeah.
One there.
You can't tell them because my flowers.
Yeah,
Isn't those flowers awesome?
Look at the cosmos, guys. Look at this. A fall color inside the greenhouse. Totally amazing.
Orange, our favorite color.
Plus we got the pink ones here. Look at this.
This is zinnias.
This is their zinnias. Look at that. Ooh. Draws the pollinators in when we leave the doors open. And guys, here we are. This is our other Owari Satsuma here. It's got some nice sized Satsumas on it. Kind of just about overloaded back here in the back. They didn't get as big. I left too many on the limb.
And it's raining. We can still do our stuff.
We can still do our stuff. And then here we're back to the peach tree again, guys. We'll just pull up just like that. This time of the year, go ahead and get them leaves off and push it into dormancy. We still got our Calamandan oranges coming along here. We had a Meyer lemon over there that I missed, but that's okay. Our banana peppers are still hanging over into here from the other side. Got a pineapple here. Got another pineapple that's actually made its pineapple. We're excited about that. Deep South Homestead gets 2 pineapples this year. We're really happy about that. And then we have another pepper plant here. Hanging in here, guys. This thing is just... These peppers are amazing. We cut this one back pretty heavy this year. Don't know if I'm going to leave it over winter or not. I may just pull it up. Ms. Wanda came in here and sneakily stuck some potatoes up in here.
I did.
Now they're growing kind of spintly because they're not getting a lot of sunlight because of all the growth around.
Well, I thought we were taking out the peppers.
Yeah, but look at this broccoli. This broccoli is only 3 weeks old. I planted them as little tiny plants. Look at them now. We got them interplanted amongst the multiplying onions for disease control and insect control and stuff. Guys, look down through here at this whole row of broccoli here. You cannot beat that. In this greenhouse, working fantastic. Awesome. I come around behind me here. We got our Meyer lemons here. Look at them, guys. But we've got the Meyer lemon. We'll come in here and clean them up. They got a little dust on them right now, but that ain't hurting them at all.
And this tree's kind of...
The trees...
It got... What is that?
Oh, the leaf miners got into it. We leave the doors open all day and we had the leaf miners getting here, so we got to get these leaves out of here. Look at the cabbages. These cabbages are the same age as the broccoli. 3 weeks old. They're Cadillac, and they was that big when I planted them. I didn't think they would even live, but look at them.
They're beautiful.
Beautiful, in containers. So, we got the one other peach tree left here, the Red Haven we have up front here. I'm not going to force bloom it just yet, although I could come in here and do that. And I could go ahead and put it into chill hours early. But I'm going to hold off probably another week on this one because this was a new tree. So guys, a little bit about this greenhouse with the black shade cloth on it. Let's head over to Ms. Wanda's greenhouse with the white shade cloth and let's see what's going on over there. Beauty of having two greenhouses back to back.
Exactly. And this is the queen dome. I have the white shade cloth. We have different type fan system in here, but my fan system isn't hooked up yet. We need electricity, so we're waiting on that. But I jumped the gun. We thought we were going to be putting the shade cloth and everything on early. And so I came out here and planted some things in this greenhouse, and then it kept staying hot. And we kept having hurricanes headed our way and going back and forth. So Danny and I finally put this on, and when we did, we put the white shade cloth. It's a lot brighter in here. You can see how bright it is compared to Danny's. The black seems to tone it down more. And I've got winter crops, or fall crops, whatever some of you want to call them in here, but I jumped the gun. This cucumber did amazing. It was already up to the top here, but without a shade cloth, the bugs got in it, and it started eating it down. I got a few cucumbers off of it, and they were kind of rubbery because it was still, I don't know, too hot. I'm not sure what. But on the other side, I planted some, and they're getting the bugs in them also, but I harvested yesterday 3 off of it, and they were so crispy. So we've got 2 going on, but the cucumbers will come out of here. The turmeric is going to stay, but we'll probably take the cucumbers on both sides up. I have the onion chives here. We had them in Danny's greenhouse. They didn't seem to be doing too much all summer, so I put them in here by themselves. These 2 plants seem to be doing okay. That one probably would if he wasn't throwing stuff in top of it. Tomatoes. Now I planted these tomatoes, and you see how big they're getting. I've been trimming them and pruning, and this one's got to be tied up, but it's starting to bloom. You see right here? I've already got blooms on my tomato on this end of the greenhouse. Now these are the yellow Cherokee wax beans. A couple of videos back I showed you where the leaf, Danny calls them leaf curls or leaf something. You see that little worm? If you don't kill those, they eat all of your leaves. So what I did, I came through and I mashed every spot that I could find a week ago on these, and some of them, like that one, had come back. But overall, you see I've got a lot of new leaves, and look at the blooms. If we get pollinators in here, and we're leaving the doors open, so hopefully, because they need pollinators, I will have yellow wax beans. Now here, Danny's 2 peanuts.
I found a worm on them this morning. I had, when I was in here watering, I did find a worm on this plant right here.
Here's another one. This is what's getting them.
These little tiny worms we're finding them on them, eating the leaves off of my peanuts. Never had that before.
No, but we have different, we leaving the doors open. So these were beautiful a week ago, and something started coming in and getting them. Now these were my English peas. I have 2 rows down the middle. You can see how big and pretty. But look, again, some worm, as hot as it's been, or some insect has come in and got them. I'm leaving them because look at this.
The tops will come back out.
The tops are coming back out. And you see they're already, what, 2 foot tall in some places?
Oh yeah, a good 2 foot, yeah.
And so I come through and I help them grab. And we're hoping for English peas out of both of these. These 2 are my squash plants, zucchini. One of the 2 we'll find out shortly, but you see already some insect damage, but they're getting ready to bloom. So we're going to see if these 2 will make it, and if we have to take something else up, I will add some more squash, because I do want squash during the winter. This was one of Danny's volunteer celebrities. You see all the blooms in it. Been trying to prune, but again, the bugs want to come in and get a hold of stuff. So we're having to watch real heavy in my greenhouse. My radishes, they almost devoured them. Obviously they like radishes too. I'm not sure if I'll get any or not. I haven't even tried to pull any, but they should be ready if I get any out of them, they should be ready shortly. These
are the giants.
These are giants in my greenhouse. This is the okra, the bush okra. It's starting to bush out some down here because I've got to clip these two. I already clipped this one. You see what happened when I clipped it? It started coming back out. This one I haven't clipped yet. But we're getting enough okra off these two plants that at least once a week, I have enough to eat. And so this one is going to be seed. I haven't taken it off yet. And that one that's curled will probably be seed. But you see up here, I don't know if you can see that far up, but there's two up there that I'll take off now. And those two I'll leave another few days. And over the period of a week, I'll have enough okra out of here to fix one meal. Now that doesn't sound like a lot.
Show them the size of the trunk when you put your hand around it.
Look at here.
Look at this, guys. This thing is...
It's like a tree.
They're like trees.
And then it divides out. This one is the same way. It's short and then divided out. And you see new stuff coming out here.
Yeah.
And here. This would be your new okra eventually.
Yeah.
All this. So that's what we're looking for. We're not taking this lower stuff off because you want it to bush. Right here is another one coming out. So if I top it, it should do really well.
It should do okay. It might take it a little while, but it should do fine.
Now,
let's look around here at these. These are rare for our area.
This is a peppercorn. I have two of them, one here and one over there. You see they're almost up to the top of my fence on both sides, and then we're going to train them to go up and over. And we're hoping to have peppercorns on these eventually and have a trellis going across our entranceway here. That is my goal with the peppercorns. And so far, they seem to be doing really well. We had a little bit of bug problem early on, but you see they're coming back strong.
Looking good.
This one also. The pretty green color in there.
Look at that. Growing right up the trellis just like we want right here. Yeah.
I mean,
We just keep moving it up.
Moving it. Now this is Danny's celebrity tomatoes that came from seed, or came up from, volunteered. Look at this. And look back in the back. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, there's clusters back yonder.
There's a cluster of about 3 or 4 or 5 in there. There's 2 down here.
Yep.
They may not get that big, but hey, having green tomatoes in the winter is awesome.
And then you got your onions with them for insect control.
Egyptian walking onions. You see they're kind of getting pretty big. And you can come out here and clip these and eat anytime you want. Got a little bit of ginger going here. And then I came in and planted...
I looked at that this morning. I didn't know what it was.
I think it's the fingerling potatoes.
Okay, fingerling potatoes. Okay.
So they're starting to come up. You can see. That's the French fingerlings. This is my kale. I planted this whole bed in kale, and only these 4 plants came up. So
it was just too hot.
It was too hot.
Too hot, yeah.
And these are my other green beans. I have some Blue Lake and some, what was the other one?
Oh.
Blue Lake and Contender.
Contender.
I think I did both. Again, these bugs came in and was messing with my leaves. But you see, I've got a lot of new growth. They're starting to want to bloom. And they're, doing good. So I think they'll pull out if it'll just cool off. And we have pollinators.
That's a big issue if it'll just cool off.
Okay, guys. So we've showed you a little bit about the Queen Dome and
the King Dome. And guys, it's I guess it all depends on right now. It's a little hard to tell about how they're going to do, because this greenhouse that we're in, and Miss Wanda's, we kind of got a head start. The weather stayed hot. Didn't have a top on it, didn't have the insect control. Now we have all the screens up on it. We have the thing where we can lock it down completely to control insects at night when the moths come out. We didn't have that to start with, so
I may have to down some plants.
Yeah.
And I'll start over and put a few cucumbers. I may do another couple of cucumbers once we lock it down somewhat, and we'll open it during the day for pollinators. But it seems that at night we
nights when your moths and all come out to do the damage and lay all the eggs.
So that should be a difference. We'll try that in the squash.
Yeah.
And so the established greenhouse, the new greenhouse, you saw what's going on so far.
And we have an assortment of different plants. One's going to be for cool weather back there. That one won't get closed up. This one will be semi-cool because we're not going to let it freeze in here. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of cool weather plants in here, like the snap beans, the English peas, and stuff like that. Those
Yeah.
are all cool weather plants, so it's not going to hurt
And
if it
the
gets a little cool.
tomatoes can take down to about, what, 40?
They can take to 40 because we've grown them at 40 degrees without any problem.
And in our greenhouse on the barn, we've actually grown tomatoes all
winter, yeah.
So we're good with that. So we're going to try that. The okra doesn't need to get down to freezing, so we're going to try to manipulate it a little.
Well, the okra is up kind of high into the top, and as long as we leave the vents closed at top,
Yeah.
I think it'll stay warm enough at night up there for it to be okay.
And we're going to be putting lights in here. A lot of people asked about that. We
Yep.
will have lights. I'm not sure. We probably will do some grow lights if
We
needed.
will, if needed, but guys, there's only one of me, and I've got so many projects going on. I haven't got to the electrical in here yet.
Yeah.
And once I get the electrical in, then when we run the irrigation, we're going to come out of this greenhouse and go into the other greenhouse with irrigation. We already have everything. We have all the timers. We have all that stuff. It's just a matter of having enough of me to go around to get to everything.
Yeah,
We're
we're trying to finish projects.
That's-
and so
yes.
we've knocked, yesterday we knocked 3 out. We're going to keep on, and we're going to finally, maybe by the next year,
Maybe by next year.
we might have several of these projects finished and operating like they should.
Yeah.
This year's been a test with both greenhouses. We get a lot of questions about the winter time. This one was built in March, and this one was built 3 months later,
couple
but
months
yet
later,
we
yeah.
didn't have the top on it till 3 weeks ago. So we are learning as you are watching. We don't know about the winter time yet because this will be our first winter.
It'll be our first winter in this style greenhouse. Now, we
Yeah.
have the greenhouse across behind the shop. We've had it several winters, but it's a hard polycarbonate panel greenhouse. It's totally different than this one. So we're going to see how it all works out.
So guys, follow us along on the Queen Dome versus the King Dome, black versus white shade cloth, trees versus plants. See what we can grow. We've already proven that one grows a lot of food,
Yeah.
a lot of things in there. So we're going to see what this one does.
And who knows? Right beside me, I may decide to put in another one.
Y'all never know here at Deep
You
South.
never know.
So thank you guys for following us, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead. Okay guys, one thing we noticed in Wanda's greenhouse here, because it's so easy to see, it's so bright, is that in a high wind situation like we had during the hurricane, or you could have it in a tornado or a straight line wind, small debris blowing around. In the very top up here, we noticed we've got a little twig off of a tree that got caught in the shade cloth, and it has punched 2 holes in the top of it up here. So we've got to get up there with a ladder, and we've got to be able to get that twig out from the inside. And I'm not trying to say I'm smart, but I was thinking ahead, and I did go ahead and buy a roll of tape to patch the greenhouses with, just in case something happened while we were putting the plastic on. So I do have a roll of 6-inch wide tape that's made to fix greenhouses with. So once the rain stops and the sun comes back out and it gets good and dry and hot, I'm going to get back up there and I'm going to see if I can't fix that hole. And what causes this is we have another one on the side over here that done the same thing. Is in a high wind like that, with the shade cloth on there, it grabs those twigs as they fly through the air like an arrow, and because it can't get out of the shade cloth, it's sitting there moving like this with the wind blowing, and it punches a hole through the plastic. So that's another lesson we've learned with the greenhouses here. But we've got the stuff to fix it. We're not going to fret about it. We're going to get up there when the rain stops and the sun comes out and take care of it.